So we covered them. How about Miami Buffalo? You know, Buffalo was playing at home in the snow. We thought, well, fish can't play in snow.
Right.
Well, we're wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some badass fish sticks.
It wasn't Leon that let them win this time in the snow either.
No.
It was they did it themselves.
Yeah.
The game started out in Buffalo's favor, as Mario was seeing at the KC game on screen.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we look back and the score's lopsided and Buffalo slides down again.
Yeah, that Buffalo just has made me so mad this year. They started off so good, and I mean, I still am so bad that they beat the Patriots and they haven't done shit since.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I'm a little surprised by the slide by Buffalo as well. Detroit's bouncing back.
Yeah.
Speaking of them, we'll go to that game. They came from behind to beat Oakland yesterday in a great game.
That was
28-27.
Yeah, and it was just awesome to see two quarterbacks air it out like Carson Palmer and Matt Stafford.
So,
and
there's this phenomenal superhero type guy over there in Detroit.
yeah, also known as Megatron, Calvin Johnson. Freaking man. Okay, I just want to make sure that I have the amount of. Okay, 9 receptions, 214 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Holy
shit.
That's
Holy
insane.
shit. Yeah.
That's a good day. That's a good game.
Yeah, and it would have been a great game.
That's like you're reading a quarterback's stats.
It was a clean game as far as the quarterbacks go too. I mean, Carson Palmer had 367 yards, 1 touch, no interceptions. Matt Stafford had 391 yards, 4 touches, no interceptions. So I mean, it was just
What a good. That was so much to that game.
yeah.
Although I did enjoy ours, but
Yeah.
you know, CT after a game like that, you take Megatron and you put him on a private plane, you fly him home by itself. You have a waitress in there for him, give him all the food, drinks he wants.
That's the kind of game where the GM takes you out to dinner afterward.
Yeah,
the game,
man.
You know what I mean?
Hey,
Yep.
CJ, over here.
Right. You're hanging with me tonight. Yeah.
That's right.
He definitely
That
needs a
man's
little
special.
something for that. That's just crazy.
So where do we go from Detroit, Oakland? How about Denver? The magic didn't happen this week against the Patriots. Tebow mania takes a little bit of a dimmer.
Well, you know,
To be expected, though.
In all fairness, though, I mean, it's against the Patriots, and the Patriots do stuff like this. They just do.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was watching an interview that Brady, I listened to an interview that Brady did, talking about Tebow, and he said, you know, what makes a great quarterback is, you know, not stats, it's leading the team and making the best of what they have available.
Right.
And he said that Tebow is doing a great job of that, and, you know, they've got a good leader over there. So, I mean, if Tom Brady's giving you, you know, props your rookie season, you know you're doing something right, no matter what your stats are. So that just in itself, you know, Brady was also talking about how they try not to buy into, you know, the weekly hype, you know,
Right.
oh, we should beat this team, or oh, this team's going to beat us. It's just like, we're just going to go out there and do our thing, and that's what they do.
Honestly, my favorite part about this entire game is the fact that, okay, once again, I mean, this is a hot defense. I mean, especially this is a hot defense coming in, you know, against with the Broncos.
Yeah.
And, you know, so obviously they're going to be all over Rob Gronkowski. So what do? They give it to Aaron Hernandez, who has 9 receptions, 129 yards, and a touch.
Yeah.
So it's just like, all right, if you're going to cover one, we're going
Exactly.
to beat your ass with the other. You know?
That's what's so awesome about it. And you don't hear anything about Hernandez, and he is a great tight end.
Oh, yeah.
But the reason that Gronkowski is so much more high profile is because he's having like a perfect wide receiver year.
Yeah.
He's having a Tony Gonzalez year.
Yeah.
Well, he beat that.
Okay.
He's beat everybody as far
He's
as
having
that
his
goes.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody else had a Gronkowski year. So
Yeah.
So Tebow is not known for throwing picks. He's thrown one all year, I guess.
Yeah, and he passed for 194 yards. Still no touchdowns, no picks, but still.
What's his rushing stats?
His rushing stats were 12 carries, 93 yards, 2 touchdowns.
What about his American stats? I should ask you the Russian part. Well, in all fairness, I'm not sure about the turnovers. I thought that I had heard about some turnovers in that game yesterday, but the Broncos were not expected to win this one. We knew that New England would probably outmatched them, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. The Broncos still have a chance to win the division.
Yes.
We'll talk more about that also later.
Yes.
But they need to look out for the Chargers who's creeping up. They're creeping up fast.
Yeah, they are.
Speaking of the Chargers, they also are like Philadelphia, have a mathematical chance to get in the playoffs with winning out and certain teams losing. So yesterday, holy shit, 34-14 over the Ravens. What happened?
Yeah.
Ray Lewis came back.
I
Something wrong.
something very wrong.
Now, something wrong with Baltimore, but something good with San Diego. I mean, this is the kind of team that we're supposed to be seeing.
Yeah, and this is the team that you're usually used to seeing at this point in the year. You know, they always start off slow, and it's kind of been ass backwards this year. They started off strong, and then they've kind of had a lackluster middle so far. They've not really been able to get anything done, but they beat a great Baltimore team so far.
Hi, Cat Jackson.
What up, dude?
We had
He's
Chili
already-
Rogers.
and he's
Now we
already-
got Cat Jackson. Hi, Cat Jackson. So San Diego, Baltimore, 34-14. Who's the star of that San Diego team yesterday?
San Diego team, Phillip Rivers. 73.9 completion percentage, 270 yards, 1 touch. But I mean, that really doesn't explain, what really happened. I mean, I guess I would have to say he just flat out played
Yeah.
Well,
everyone on the field.
if you want to compare quarterbacks, we went from Brady and Tebow over to Rivers. So the next step, obviously, would be Drew Brees.
Right.
We agree on that?
Yeah.
So prepare the stat machine for that, Mario, because we
All
might
right.
need to go ahead and warm it up a little bit.
Oh yeah, I'm warming.
I can see it blinking over there. It's about to go into overload.
His phone's kind of warm.
It is.
The Vikings continue to
Do what the Vikings do.
underperform.
Yeah.
We had some high hopes for them a while back, and I picked them to beat the Packers.
Well,
It didn't work out.
next year they're going to be better.
Yeah, they are.
They will be, and I think that it's going to be drastically better.
No, let's not cut them too short. Even though they've lost however many games lately, they've played some of those pretty good, pretty close.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
And Ponder does not look that bad. Has not looked that bad in previous games. I mean, in this game, he did not look very good at all.
Well,
Nobody,
you know what? Look around the league. I mean, look at the Rams are on their first, second, fourth quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
There's other teams that have the same scenario. Houston's on their third quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
It's all over the league, and it's the same situation there as they went from McNabb down to Ponder.
Yeah.
You also look at Tennessee with Hasselbeck and Walker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's widespread across the league, and and you need. That's why we say they'll be better next year because they'll get a full off season, no lockout,
Right.
a full off season with Ponder behind offense, and
Yeah.
then they'll bring in maybe a young quarterback because they're going to need some good backup for Ponder.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, 42-20 because of one man,
Drew Brees.
11 men, 22 men. Let's change that.
Yeah.
But one man in particular made a difference yesterday.
Right.
A
Right.
big difference.
80% completion rate. 412 yards.
Oh my God.
5 mother effing TDs.
Are
That's
you kidding
insane.
me?
That is a passing clinic.
That
It is.
It's like, here, step into my office because you're all fucking fired.
Yeah.
That was-
No Madden curse for him.
No, not at all.
He's been playing just as. I was glad when he won Super Bowl, when they won Super Bowl. I keep saying he, and then when the Saints won Super Bowl as a
Right.
whole, even though it was against the Colts, who I had my Peyton Manning hat on. I got a little sad, but as an American, I didn't mind. Did Cat Jackson just speak?
Yeah, he's like, I minded.
And then he licks himself at us. He likes
Not
doing that.
again. Anyway, Drew Brees all season long has been a top performing quarterback.
Lights
Oh, yeah.
out.
Absolutely.
Lights out.
Lights out. That's
Lights out.
Mario would appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah,
That's like his nickname or something.
Right. So you'd have to wonder now. The season started out Green Bay and New Orleans at Green Bay. So you have to wonder now, if the season ends the same way.
It's very possible.
I wouldn't be disappointed.
No.
Would it be the same? We can't see the outcome because it'd be kind of a crapshoot. But would it be the same kind of shootout game?
I would like to hope so.
That's still, in my opinion, one of the best, if not the best game this year.
Well, right now, today, could the Packers? Now they by the way, the Packers had 2 significant injuries on the offensive line yesterday, which is going to affect them going forward.
Yes, it will.
They already had lost Greg Jennings on the offense.
That's also very bad.
Like we said, I don't think that was a factor yesterday. They just were off in general. But the O-line, like we said, the KC, they put 5 DBs on some of the passing plays and didn't give them nothing to throw to, and yet the offensive line still got backed up into Aaron's pocket, and he didn't have much time on other plays. So,
in that entire game, I would definitely give the credit to the
Chiefs defense.
Yeah, Chiefs defense.
Yeah.
That was just incredible performance.
So I guess the question is, if they played this week, Saints and Packers,
Who would I pick?
who has the edge?
I would pick the Saints just because Drew Brees, obviously, he's been steamrolling everybody all the time, except for the Rams. And
I don't get that one.
I don't either. But
It's a mystery.
And they're on a winning streak right now. And if Green Bay was to play them, if they was to play them, tonight or Saturday or Thursday or whatever, soon, I don't think that Green Bay would be out of the rhythm from losing to Kansas City to play a team as good as the Saints are and win. It'd be close, but I don't think that they'd be able to win it.
I would agree, Mario. I would think that if they played right now in the next week or two, that the Saints might have the advantage. But I think if you look at where they might meet up in what you would think the conference championship,
Right.
it comes back a little even again.
Yeah. And at that point, you couldn't really go back and look at what they did in the season and what they did, as far like leading up to the season. You'd have to look at what they've, like their track record in the playoffs. And granted, like Brees is has a little bit of more of the edge as far as his
Lights out
experience. Yeah, his experience in the playoffs. But at the same time, Rodgers seems to at least showed last year that he definitely steps up in the playoffs.
Well,
He's up to
even
the challenge,
yesterday,
so.
if you look at the game yesterday, we all knew that there's going to be a different game coming in the fourth quarter, and it was. That was where the most of the intensity came from.
Yeah.
And late on that drive, when it came time, Rodgers scored it himself, but he also ran a few balls up during that drive to get first downs and whatnot, and just keep the plays alive. But you don't really see Rodgers get upset.
Right.
He's pretty poised under pressure. And even yesterday, losing situation during the game, post-game interviews, I think he still handled himself pretty well. I'm not worried about the Packers.
No.
But at the same time, it looks like points-wise, the Saints are outscoring them right now. Last time we looked, Green Bay had scored 420 points. That's before this week.
Mm-hmm.
And New Orleans had scored 393. So that was only a difference of 27 points. And they only scored 14, the Packers did, and the Saints scored,
41.
42.
Yeah, 42.
So they're edged.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you take away the Rams game, they would have more than that.
Right.
That's like a black mark. It's like something that they won't live down this season, no matter what they do.
Right.
Oh yeah, well you guys lost to the Rams.
Right. It's like losing to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, we almost did that.
We almost did that.
The Rams. Okay. All right. So from Minnesota and New Orleans, we already covered New England and Denver, the Jets and Philly, Baltimore, San Diego. We don't need to cover Cincinnati, St. Louis. We covered Detroit, Oakland, Cleveland, and Arizona. Speaking of Cleveland, we just said Cleveland. Arizona again. Wins again.
Mm-hmm. Arizona.
Is that like 4 out of 5 weeks or something they won?
I think so.
Now, I think I told you before, but Jen and I had that game on the radio on the way back from KC, and as soon as they hit overtime, I was like, Arizona's got this, man.
Yeah.
You just know.
Well, that's like Denver going into overtime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not much different. Just
No.
different, overall.
Right. The way that it gets handled is different, but the end result, 9 times out of 10, is going to be the same.
Right.
Well, what's good about it is Fitzgerald made a big play, a long pass to keep the Cardinals into field goal territory. But right then, Wisenhunt said, field goal unit to the field. There's no messing around. No beanie wheels up the middle and all that.
Right.
Just kick the field goal, take care of it.
Right.
And they did, and it was done.
Yep.
It's a good call.
But the broadcast still lingered for like 20 more minutes, so.
Well, yeah.
Carolina 28, Houston 13.
Yeah.
What?
What?
Really?
What?
What happened to the Texans?
Apparently,
They finally caught up to them. They're on their third string quarterback, and they just met a hungrier team.
By the way, I just messed that up. I was doing a really good segue so far.
yeah.
And based on our recent conversations, I should have segued from Arizona to Seattle.
Ah, yes. Well,
So let's just do that.
okay.
Seattle 38, Chicago 14. Not a big surprise because the Bears are not firing on all cylinders with the Heaney situation.
Right,
No,
and the
no.
Seahawks are pretty hot right
And
now.
there's some debate
They
right now as to
are.
who's going to start this week for the Bears, but we shall see. But the Seahawks,
They're-
Pete Carroll, though, I mean,
But I mean, not at one point at all. Whenever we started this thing this year, did we think the Seahawks are gonna, they're gonna beat the Bears, they're
Right.
gonna beat Baltimore,
Yeah.
and they've done both those, and they've done so much that they shouldn't have done based on how they was doing, based on the preseason and last year and
Yeah.
everything, and they're just like this thorn in teams, and they're just like ruining people's hopes and dreams.
Arizona and Seattle
You're
both are
killing
that way.
people's
Yeah.
dreams.
Arizona and Seattle definitely are both that way.
You rainy ass town bastards.
You know how the Cowboys and Giants meet in the final game of the season?
Yeah.
So does Arizona and Seattle.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
That and up until how the season has developed, we wouldn't have thought shit about that.
Yeah.
But the way that both those teams have been playing this year, that is going to be a great game to watch.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, both teams are very competitive. They're both well coached.
Let's hope Seattle
Um,
kicks to Patrick Peterson.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I think the Rams do. Yeah, they
Well,
they
they-
kick to everybody.
Yeah, they
Or
just decide. They just
punt
decide
everybody.
to, go ahead, win. We'll kick it to your best weapon.
The biggest thing I think that held Seattle back
We're beating the league.
in the season earlier was the quarterback situation.
Yeah.
Other than that, Pete Carroll's a good coach. I mean, we did have faith in that aspect of the team.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, definitely Seattle and Arizona are two teams that are surprising us right now, and they're in the playoff hunt.
Yeah.
They're not in there yet, but they're not out of it yet either.
Right. I mean, it's a matter of one game going one way and two games going their way, or something like that. And there they are. And we wouldn't have expected that.
No.
Right. And then going back to the Carolina-Houston thing, we didn't expect Houston to lose either.
No, we didn't.
Now, Carolina's a good team.
Yeah.
And if you saw the replay that me and Carl saw on NFL.com today, or was it Yahoo?
Fumble Ruski
I think
Jr.
it was.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
cool, man.
Yeah,
it was.
cool.
It was so good. And that would not have worked, I don't think, if it was anybody except maybe
Right.
Tebow.
Possibly.
Right now, as far as the quarterback goes, doing that,
Yeah.
because he's such a threat at the run. Whenever it looks like he's got that ball, they're going for him.
Yep.
Mhm.
And
And they
did.
know they got to close on him fast.
Yeah.
You know? So,
or otherwise, he's going to be either in there or real damn close.
yeah.
Right.
Because he is so fast. And it was just funny. Like, the entire defense, except for one guy, all shifted to the right, looking at the field. It would be all right.
Yeah.
And they was all going after him. And then
Yep.
you just see this one guy just trying to get to him because he sees what's going on. What's happening? And they got no hope of catching him.
Gone.
It worked really good because you got when you're the linemen are down like this and they're ready to go and then the ball is snapped. There's engaging. When you first engage, you can't see nothing yet.
Right.
You're trying to get where you can, but that's all it took for that exchange. Because when it went to Newton, went to the fullback, and then they ran like that.
Yeah.
I mean, so it didn't. I was always trying to hit Mario with my hand.
I know.
It took
That's why I
just
picked
like
this
that.
guy.
You don't have time to find out if Newton really has the ball or not. It looks like he does, and if you don't get him right now, he'll be in the end zone. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah, definitely without the right quarterback,
Right.
that'd be a good Wildcat player or something like that. But even then, if you line, but then again, no, it wouldn't be a good Wildcat play. If you line up in the Wildcat, they know something's going on.
Right.
This is just shotgun, but the fullback was kind of right there.
Right.
It's a shallow shotgun too.
Yeah, it was very unconventional kind of a play, and it worked so well.
Yeah, it was cool to watch. So if you haven't watched it, just look up the Fumble Ruski in Carolina. That's what they're comparing it to. It was a very good play.
Very similar.
How about the Colts? They won a game.
I know.
Houston lost. The
What
Colts
happened?
won. What the hell? Is
I know.
that division's flipped up this week?
Yeah.
So the winless team won, and the loseless team lost.
Yes. So now we're going to have no perfect records on either side of the spectrum this season.
Holy shit, man.
I don't know if you guys noticed it just now, but Kat Jackson walked by and told her off.
Did he?
Yeah,
What an ass.
it was cool.
He's got the jackass mode going.
J.O.
He's just mad because he got punished for licking himself at us.
Not on the furniture, man.
Yeah.
That's what I tell my kids.
Do it over there.
Do whatever you gotta do, just not on the furniture.
Yeah, people
So-
sit there.
We've been talking about the Colts and Jim Caldwell over there doing a good job keeping them competitive. And just as they announced that Peyton Manning will not play again
Right.
this year, flippity floppity, they won a game.
Right?
The defense pitched in too.
Yeah.
It was a team effort.
It was.
The Colts won a game. The Colts won a game. Way to go, guys. So the draft race continues.
Yes. Suck for luck.
That is amazing.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
We'll have
That
to
pretty
use
much
that.
covers the scores from the week.
Yeah.
We're going to discuss some more of that stuff in the upcoming segments.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even sure who's up first this week. He's got the Santa Claus hat on. We'll let him close out the show.
All right.
We'll let
That
you go
sounds
next. So
Sounds
coming up
perfect.
next is Mario Spina's Holy Shit That Pisses Me Off segment right here on Pigskin Holiday, week 15.